We start with Elon Musk and the social media platform he controls, X, which formerly was known as Twitter. It's facing the loss of one of its largest markets over a row about hate and speech and disinformation. Brazil's telecom regulator has now suspended access to X for the country's 200+ million people. It did that over the weekend after a ruling by a senior judge. And there will be a vote later today by a panel of Brazil's Supreme Court on whether to uphold that ruling. It's the most serious crisis yet for the platform, although critics have been accusing X of becoming a haven for extremist and hateful content and also false information for a while now. David Waddell has this report.
When Elon Musk took control of Twitter 2 years ago in a $44 billion deal, rebranding it X, he signalled there would be far fewer restrictions on what people could post. Mr Musk calls himself a free speech absolutist, as he told the BBC's James Clayton last year.
Free speech is meaningless unless you allow people you don't like to say things you don't like. Otherwise it's irrelevant. And if at the point at which you lose free speech, it doesn't come back.
Since then, the platform and its owner have faced constant controversy. Individuals banned from Twitter, including controversial influencer Andrew Tate and UK far-right activist Tommy Robinson, were reinstated by X. During violent far-right protests this summer in the UK, Mr Musk found himself in a row with Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer after posting that civil war is inevitable and accusing the government of two-tier policing. Mr Musk's latest row threatens X's position in one of its biggest markets. Over the weekend, Brazilian Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes ordered the platform to be shut down across the country. It comes after a months-long feud over alleged misinformation and hate speech on the platform, in which Mr Musk called the judge an evil dictator. The arrest in France last month of Pavel Durov, CEO of messaging app Telegram, has raised the stakes in the debate. France has rejected claims that CEO can't be held responsible for illegal content shared on the platform. But Elon Musk hinted on X over the weekend that it's probably wise for me to limit movements to countries where free speech is constitutionally protected. David Waddell, BBC News.
So almost 2 years of controversy have not been good for the commercial fortunes of X. It's faced a widespread advertising boycott by the likes of Apple, Disney and Unilever, which has hit its earnings pretty hard. Investment managers Fidelity, they've written down their stake in the company by 72%. That's according to recent figures seen by the Washington Post. Now, if their valuation is accurate, X will have gone from being worth $44 billion at the time of Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter to being now worth just $13 billion, which is quite a write-down indeed. Well, we can hear now from technology journalist Chris Stockelwalker, who joins us now. Chris, firstly, I mean, Brazil is a major market. There are a lot of people there, 220+ million. Is this significant? Explain to us how significant it could be.
Yeah, pretty significant because of the scale of the country and therefore the scale of the user base. We don't have hugely reliable data. We have third-party estimates. Anywhere between around about 20 million and 40 million Brazilians are believed to use X every single month. Around about a third, about 30% or so, have it installed on their phones, which means that this is a relatively big market and has been not just for X, but for lots of other tech platforms, which is why they try and keep them on side. And
if you're a tech exec right now, there might be some concern that this sort of thing is catching, that other countries and other markets might follow suit.
Yeah, we had not only this issue with Elon Musk and X in Brazil, but we've had Pavel Durov and France and the debates around Telegram, the encrypted messaging app there. We've also had Elon Musk getting into spats with many other people, and I think that this is par for the course for him. Most recently, we've had him getting engaged with European regulators, including Thierry Breton, the commissioner in charge of social media there. Earlier, he also had a similar dispute over free speech, in his view, over images and video that was shared of an attack on a church in Australia with the e-safety commissioner there. So this is becoming, I think, increasingly common, and Elon Musk is a lightning rod, I suppose, for that sort of criticism.
But is X a little bit of a basket case here? Because we heard there about the boycotting of advertising, about the valuation write-down. Is the business model just not working?
Yeah, I think it is really struggling at the minute. We know that Elon Musk was very, very keen to buy this. We know that he was willing to spend an awful lot of money, and we know that he has pretty much tanked the business behind it. So, one of the things that Musk does often revert to is this concept that controversy creates cash. Now, I don't think that he's going to end up getting Brazil back online anytime soon unless he accedes to those requests, which are relatively simple, but he sees this as a red line. So, this is going to impact the business, I think, even further.
OK, Chris, thank you as always for joining us, and we'll hear about the ruling a bit later on today.